Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, Burrito. Why the question mark? Hello? I'm Ron Burgundy. Hey, Omega, Vash, DCU. How you guys doing? So today we're gonna do some dailies. Why so quiet? Because it was starting. Like that's the 5 minutes like of the stream starting. So it said on the screen, right? Like starting soon, like this thing. Yeah. So it was so quiet because I did not start. The roster roasting. I try not to roast too much. A blend like a blended roast slash. Hey Crinkerson, how's it going? I am doing well. I just walked into a wall, so I like hit my head. But other than that, I'm fine. Yeah, I don't know. I just straight walked into a wall. What am I gonna do? You know? I was like turning around while walking forward, and then I turned forward, and then, ooh, there was that wall. So it was like the edge of a wall. I was not where I thought I was. Just un poquito, just a little. Oh, the YouTube chat? Yeah, I don't know. Not very busy in the YouTube chat. Usually chat, I guess we got some lurkers, right? It is the weekend. It's Friday night. Maybe they're out in the bar, right? Hanging out because it's Friday night, and they just have their phone and they're trying to listen to me, so they can't really type because the phone's like up on their ear too. That's what I like to imagine is happening with them, with my chat. So they're just like in the club with their phone on their ear, trying to catch some ladies or whatever they're doing, but also stay up to date with all my roster reviews. It's probably what's happening, if I imagine. Just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. Maybe that's the case, maybe not. Hey Guacamole, how are you doing? I'm doing well. How are you? If I had to guess. Hey, Ririk99. How's it going, dude? You already attended a beer festival 3 hours ago? A 3-hour beer fest? Oh, you're probably there for a while. But that's nice. Hey, that was nice. I got 5 shards of this, dude. Oops. So even though I'm farming light side tickets, I have been slow farming these guys too. I did not stop because I want to slow down my ticket generation for Leia just in case that chase happens. So, oh hey, this is ready. Excellente. Let's get you, take you to Relic 1 for now, I guess. So it's going to be a while before I have the bandwidth to get that Seer team up and running. The farm for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is happening super quickly. So pretty. Hey Tweb, how's it going? All right, cool. I got this ready too. So these, what is it? 200 for this one? Yeah. What mods do I recommend you buy in the mod shop? I'll make a video on that, Rick. I was actually thinking about that. But it really does depend on where you are and what you're doing. Because people buy different things and have different thresholds of how much currency they have. So some people who have like 1 billion credits are gonna buy different things than me who have 10 million. You know what I mean? But I'll make a note here. And I'll give my, I'll think about it. I'll take some time. I'll take screenshots of ones I buy, and then I'll kind of show you guys what I do, and then you guys can do it for whatever you're gonna do for yours. Seer and Baby Cow. Yeah, Seer and Baby Cow technically can do it. I'm not going to do that because I'm gonna leave Cal probably at like R3, and I'm gonna put him with Ray. So he's just gonna be. I'm gonna take out Barris and put in Cal in there for my Ray and just use him that way because that's gonna elevate the Ray team because he's really strong. Even without a Zeta, it's not really needed. I still think with this persistence one is very good, but I don't think I would need it for Ray because usually my Ray goes first anyways, so it would be a wasted Zeta. So this Cal is, I do need a little better mods on him, but I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna leave him there with Ray for now. And then I am going to, and the problem is my Zetas is the big issue here. So I'm going to Zeta up Zori in her team, so I need 3 Zetas for that. Marin still needs a Zeta. I'm probably not going to apply it, to be completely honest. While it's a good Zeta, I just don't need it. Who else is with my Ray? So I use this version right here. So I'm gonna take out her and put in old Cal and see how that team goes, because I do think that'll increase the survivability. So I'll put Cal here. There are other variants too where you can do something like this, and this is actually like a really strong variant if I wanted to, but I would lose out on. So this is probably the strongest variant against what do you call it? Star Killer. So, but the problem is I like my General Kenobi on my JMK team. So yeah, but I'll just keep droids in here for now. And it's like an oldie, but it's still good. And then this team will do what I need it to do pretty much. So you don't agree with the goal of Zepho? Zepho's a good goal, DCU. I think Zepho and Mandalore are good. So my guild can take full advantage of Zepho and Mandalore. So we don't get the star on Mandalore in TB, but we're 530 million GP, and we're able to get all the Kyrotech from Zepho and Mandalore. So we do get what is it, 140 Kyrotech plus all the other currency that you get for that. So I'm very happy with the income, but I think Zepho is at 250. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I don't think Zepho's a bad one. It's just, if you guys don't have like JML and all the other, like Jedi Knight Luke at least, to really take advantage of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, I don't know how much it's going to help you guys. And then it's actually a very hard mission. So you're probably going to have to look at like 40 plus people having access to it, and then your guild leaders or whoever's managing it, because you do need good mods as well to possibly get access. So you guys will have, you could have like 30, 35, you're probably not going to unlock it. So it's a very difficult mission. Hey, Zerevin, how's it going? So that's why I'm building up my stuff too. So, and why I'm going for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis and Bo-Katan Mandalore here shortly is because I just want to, for one, the Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, every single win we get is important because of the RNG. Finishing Watt, yeah, so if they're doing Darkside TB and you're finishing your Watt, then that's probably a good time to move to a full-time rope guild. I don't remember your account off the top of my head, but that's probably what I would do and what I usually tell people. So if you want to like ignore them and not push Jedi Knight Cal Kestis yet, I don't think that's bad, because you can, there's tons of other things you can farm in the meantime that will benefit your account more than Jedi Knight Cal Kestis in the early game, I think. So do what you want, but I probably would not push Jedi Knight Cal Kestis super early. I think it's the same thing as pushing Inquisitors super early. While the benefit of it is good, and if you have like something like Ray, then and you have Ben Solo, then you can make a super strong Ray team on defense that'll hold for a while, or you can use it to beat like JMK. So like having access to Baby Cal is very good. I don't think it's bad. So yeah. So I am going to push my what do you call it? My Jedi Knight Anakin. I'm gonna take him to Relic 7, not because I'm pushing for I'm not pushing for C, but I want him to. Hey Dank Ideals, how's it going? I want my negotiator counter to be more reliable. So, and it's just not as, because believe it or not, I lost my first Grand Arena because of my negotiator. It was pretty painful. So it was a good match. This guy put a very good defense down, and he beat me one because of Datacrons. But this Trench team had the good support cron, and I went in with a Star Killer with the attacker cron, and the problem is he mass assist and killed my Star Killer like before, like right off the bat, and then I lost. Like I just lost, and then I lost that battle. I came in with Inquisitors and killed it. It was really messy, but this was a very good opponent, and man, it was so painful because I beat it almost pretty cleanly. Like this is 10 skins on the bottom, but a very good defense that he threw down here. This is General Grievous. Very high Datacron defense, and then I lost this counter, and that because they just killed my Anakin, and that's what lost me the game. Like I like 100%. I was so sad about it, but like I always tell you guys, don't be upset because you lost a Grand Arena. Take it as a lesson. And so the lesson I learned was my Anakin has been Relic 4 for a long time, and the thing is, if he was higher relics, I could push through, and I would have done, because it was like so little damage I needed to get a kill, and then I just didn't hit that threshold. So I also my abilities weren't maxed on my, what is it? So I didn't put go full in. Where is it at? So my Umbaran Starfighter, his abilities weren't maxed as well, so I wasn't doing as much damage as I could have been doing, and that also probably cost me the match as far as like RNG, because I'm telling you, it was like this much health, and then he got a reinforcement, and then I died because I did get my ult. If the turn order was a little different, they would have died from bombs and then not got the reinforcement, but it didn't end up working that way, and then the summons ended up killing my guys. Hey Joshua, how's it going? So I'm not going to increase his relics yet, even though I wouldn't mind, because I use him in 3s with Rex 5s. I am going to wait on. I was thinking about taking him to Relic 5, but I'm going to wait on that. I'll see if I have some extra time, because right now my current main farm doesn't require any signal data, so I might take him up. But since I'm doing Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, he doesn't require any signal data. I thought this would be a good opportunity just to take Jedi Knight Anakin to R7 for a little better negotiator, maybe a little more survivable. I don't know, we'll see, but I think I'm gonna do that. And that's what my lesson learned from that one was, like, I underestimated, or I just got bad RNG with Trench. Like, Star Killer is a good counter, but I just lost. Sometimes that happens, and then I also just lost that one. So not the biggest of deals, right? So sometimes you just have bad RNG. In that run, I just had bad RNG. So like even though these guys I'm playing are ridiculous, yeah, yeah. So sometimes we lose just for RNG. I will show you once I'm done with this. I'll show you what happened to my Grand Arena yesterday. But that was a very good Grand Arena. I did not mean to be like clickbaity with the title because I thought that I was not going to be able to get through that defense, and so I was just like, let's see how this defense goes, because I'm putting a real defense down, so my defense isn't a complete pushover. They're going to like max banners, so I have a like somewhat of a built up defense now, and then I was not expecting to like get through my opponent, so I did, so that's good. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I do like that the Plokron just beats Leia on auto. I like doing this, and I usually just like join and drop, but I do this because it's fun to beat Leia on full auto. Take advantage while I can. I think you can still do it with what do you call it? The Quadmate team can beat Leia on full auto as well, but you know, it's just fun when you do it and you can just like full auto win. But yeah, pretty happy with my Grand Arena yesterday. So yesterday I was able to do the full clear. Oops. Oops, that's my opponent now. So yesterday I was able to get the full clear, no drop battles. My opponent did drop a battle here on my Radis, so a lot of people underestimate the good level 6 on this Datacron. It got me 2 holds in my first one, and this one it got me 1 hold, so that was really good. And then on the north, they dropped another battle on this Quadmate team, and then he couldn't get through it. DCU, I don't know. It's up to you. Again, roster stuff is like difficult. I farmed everything. I did not use conquest tickets to farm conquest characters. I just bought the Pass Plus and farmed them all out of the I farmed them all out of conquest now, but for the old ones I farmed them all through proving grounds, and I didn't buy any for tickets. So I think the tickets are better spent on other things like signal data and gear and injector pieces, and then you can farm those past ones and proving grounds if you need them, is what I personally did with them. Hey bandits, how's it going? But that's what I did. You can do whatever you want with your tickets. I do buy the $10 pass, so as long as you buy that $10 pass, you're in a good place to do that and not have to worry about it. So I did finish all my farming for characters and fleet shards, so I no longer have anything to farm fleet shard, or not fleet shard, fleet energy. So I don't have any shards to farm with fleet energy anymore, so I just like go all in on this thing right here, which is nice. Hopefully some of the new characters will be fleet energy. That would be nice. That'd be convenient for me. Otherwise, these are pretty much the last 3 characters I need to farm. I do have one more hard shard node, which is Tuscan Chieftain. I don't think it's worth, like, because all of these are unaccelerated. I want to get them as fast as possible. I don't care about Tuscan Chieftain, so I'll farm him once I'm done farming my Leia tickets, because he's still dark side. So I think these guys are worth continuing to farm for, because one, Bo-Katan Mandalore is my farm after Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and I'm going to finish Jedi Knight Cal Kestis very shortly here. After Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, I'm thinking I'll probably farm GL Ahsoka sometime soon, so getting these stars up and running is good too. You bought the rest with gems? I don't necessarily recommend that. So again, like, it all depends on where you are in the game. Like, Quadmate is very strong, especially if you have the Poncho Bros, but like I think it's crystals are like, it's so prohibitive to spend stuff like that. And if it was a character like you're going for Leviathan and you wanted Malgus or his ship, then yeah, I understand. Or maybe Bane. I understand some like people. I love Bane. Bane's one of my favorite characters in the game. He's one of my favorite characters in lore. So if you wanted like Bane or something, I could understand like spending crystals or those burritos on Bane or something. But it's fine if you just kind of like slow roll your conquest farms, because there's so many conquest characters, and by the time you unlock them, you're not going to have the bandwidth to work them all, like Trench, Boba, like all these guys, Maul. Like there's tons of characters down here that Terran Malicos I'll get up shortly, but there's a lot of characters down there that are very good characters, and I just don't have the bandwidth where I am. So if you guys aren't even close to where I am and you're working on like conquest characters, just focus on your main farms, focus on your currencies, and then conquest characters will come. You don't have to accelerate them unless you're in a position where you really need them for something. Like you have JMK, no cat. Okay, you want to accelerate that, I understand. You have raise your best GL and you're close to Ben Solo. Okay, I can understand that. You're farming Leviathan and you need Malgus and his ship. I understand that. You have Grand Inquisitor and you need a Leviathan counter, so you want the Scythe. I understand that. But unless you're like farming something for some specific reason, then most of these characters you can just slowly get up and running at your leisure. You don't have to like go all in on them. So I would say just, you know, take your roll and slow it down. Just slow your roll, and that would probably serve you better, is putting your crystals and your energies. Poncho Bros just seemed useless without her. No, they're not useless without her. Like those two are Galactic Republic Jedi. Believe it or not, well, you know, I use them with JMK, but in TB, I use the Poncho Bros because they're Relic 9 with JMK. Like I'll go like JMK, Padawan Obi-Wan, Commander Ahsoka Tano, Master Qui-Gon, and General Kenobi. And these guys just like roll over through a lot of the nodes that I need and the Zepho nodes and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Like they're Galactic Republic Jedi. They can fit in with any galactic. They can go into a Padme team, they can go into a Jedi Knight Luke team, a JML team, a Jedi Knight Revan team, a Bastila Shan team, so a Qui-Gon team. So they're like pretty universal in what you can use them for. You don't have to accelerate although they're good. Am I gonna bring my Bad Batch to relics? Not anytime soon. So this is my current farming pathway. So I'm done with Leia. I'm just farming her ultimate. I do still need to take Baze to Relic 5 because he's going to be a tank in there with my Leia. And then I do need to put one. I need to put one more what do you call it, Zeta. I need 2 Zetas for the Leia team, one on R2 and one on Mon Mothma, and then the team will pretty much be done for what I need it for. But once I'm done with this, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Bo-Katan Mandalore, my Seer Ufus, then I might do Bad Batch, or at that point I might just go for GL Ahsoka. So I don't know what I'm gonna do here. So I think once I finish, hey SWGOH, once I finish Bo-Katan, I could see myself, because I don't think I'm gonna have the Omicrons for this team anyways, because I only have 50 right now Omicrons saved. I need one Omicron for Zori, and then I'm going to need at least 2 Omicrons for Bo-Katan. I'm only 10 away. So by the time I get Bo-Katan, I will have my 2 I need for her. But by the time I work on Seer unaligned force users for Seer and Terra Malicos, I'm not gonna have, I may have one Omicron, and I could put that on like Seer, but I don't think the team is worth it unless I can get all those Omicrons. So I may just like, as crappy as this sounds, like skip out on this team and then just put GL Ahsoka right here is what I'm thinking. and like Balin Skull, and Balin Skull and the GL Soka above the Ufus. And then once I finish with those, I'll probably go 2025 fleet, and then I'll go Bad Batch, Seer, unaligned Force users. And by the time I do all that, I should have I should be ready for the 4 Omicrons that I need for Seer and Terran. But it's hard because there's different bottlenecks in the game. I'm getting a lot more of these Chirotech now, and also I've started like buying the Chirotech packs. So I'm gonna like blaze through this Jedi Knight Cal Kestis farm, and then also blaze through this Bo-Katan farm, and I think I'll be done, I don't know, in like 2 months or something, a month and a half maybe, with these guys, hopefully. And then like I'm definitely gonna be finished with Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, I think, more than likely, but I'm not too worried about that overall. So these farms I'm going to be done very quickly, and then I can start focusing on something else, like maybe GL Ahsoka. Balin Skull seems good. I just don't think I'm going to be ready for Balin Skull before I can be ready for GL Ahsoka, as weird as that sounds, just because of the cadence of when they like gave their shards. I guess it depends on what new stuff we're going to need, and that's why I've been like, gold box is fine with Ezra Bridger, because I'm not going to get GL Ahsoka at launch. Did I win GAC last night? I did win GAC last night, SWGOH. So I did. So they got held up on my wall. So like I said before, I put an actual defense down, so they couldn't handle my quad mace, so they lost. They probably went with Bane. Alright, Conquest. Just sim these. Oops. I think I'm pretty much done with my dailies. I do need to do this real quick. And then we can start doing mod work, and then we'll go. I always forget to do these. Do you guys ever forget to do your marquee events? Like lately I've been better because I've been I've been so horrible with these. But I forget all the time to do these because the gear is pretty like negligible, and I'm not accelerating the shards, so I don't do it. Hey Fogly, how you doing? But I always forget. For my free to play, this event right here is super great. Like new marquee events are amazing for new to play accounts because it gives you 5 dot mods. So you know, like I use the other marquee event, I think Shins, I used to get like crit damage, crit chance mods for my Sabine. So amazing for new players to use these marquee events just for the mods. Like pretty good. This one was very easy, but I don't have Gungan, so I can't get higher than box 8. All right, so let's do my mod work for the week. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, so let's go here. Just knock this out. So I saw, like, now that I'm doing my mod work for you guys, or my mod workshop, I think it's wild that some of you guys are doing mod work with like 0 filters or the most inefficient filters I've ever seen. Like, I think it's just like absolutely nuts what you guys are doing here with your mods and how you work them. Like, I think a big part of why some people don't like working mods is how long it takes you guys to work them, because you guys are just like, a lot of you guys are just really inefficient with how you're doing it, and that makes it a lot harder, and it makes it the longer it takes to do, the less you're going to want to do it. So Yeah, it's like it's nuts. It's nuts that you guys are, some of you guys, not everyone of course, but I like the people who've done my mod filters. I like some of them show up and they're like, let's work mods, and I'm like, okay, do you have your mod filter set up? And they're like, I have some filters, and they're just like super inefficient. I'm like, what are you guys doing? So yeah, I definitely would recommend getting some mod filters up and running for your guys' accounts so that you can be a little more efficient with what you're doing. Not a must, but I just recommend it. I do. Who loves orange soda? All right, so just taking a quick look at these, seeing what is worth keeping so that I can, well, not keeping, but giving one more chance for a slice so I can see if it can hit. Like crit damage is always a must. I need some more of these crit chance mods, to be completely honest. Not crappy ones with like health primary, but I started farming crit chance mods. That one's really crappy. Crit damage, even though it's pretty shit mods. I do need more of them. I do. Alright, let's upgrade that. 12. Go to sell no speed. Take a, and I always tell, I think I don't tell people that they need to farm more. People need to farm offense percent mods and not just speed. I'll say this. I don't know where you are in the game, but that's more of like an end game problem. Like where you have things where you want like tons of offense percent, and there's offense percent mods are very good, but I don't think people need to specifically focus on them because it's like, how do I say this? So have you ever talked to like really rich people? You know what I mean? Like just people that are not struggling financially, and then they'll always tell you like, money does not buy you happiness. But that in itself is not true. It's not a true statement. So there is a certain threshold where having all your needs met, you can go on your little vacation every year, like, and having your like being financially stable is very important to be able to be happy, right? So there's a certain point where money above that level is probably not going to buy you happiness. So people who say farm offense percent mods, not just speed, I feel like are in that realm of like, you know, like money doesn't buy you happiness kind of people, because those who have the bandwidth to farm offense percent mods, and only those compared to like speed and offense percent, are people who are like well established and they have very good mod depth. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you just have to look at where people are in the game. Like it'd be like telling my you know 1 month old account and being like farm offense percent mods on that, and it's like, while they are great and amazing, and I love offense percent, and it is a factor as well, like that's 100% one of those, like you have to be established to be able to farm offense percent mods. So that's just my little spiel on modding. All right, here, let's look at these real quick. Offense, yeah, I'll keep that. Not a lot to work with here, but let's see what we can do. So yeah, 100% having offense mods. And I say this too. So if someone farms, because as you can see, like I did work my mods and I was looking at my grays, and I look at offense percent too, but if you work like the amount of mods I work, and if you work high volume, you're gonna have mods that have excellent substats, and then you're gonna have mods that have not so great substats. But I still think overall the most important thing with mods is speed. And while I understand where, let's say I had a mod that was like purple or something and it was 10 speed and all the other hits were like offense percent, and someone wanted to like continue to work that, yeah, I understand that, because it's like it has still high potential if you can do that. And that's where I think having the bandwidth of being able to work like high offense percent mods are good. But you could also be left with like an 11 speed mod at 6A where you just kept chasing speed, and it may have high offense, but it's also kind of like really lackluster. And there's places where you can use that, like you know, Sith Trooper or Terran Malicos or something. Starkiller doesn't need crazy speed either. So there are characters that could do that, but I think overall, if you just like build good mods, offense percent will come with it. Not Marin doesn't want offense, but like if you build good mods, you'll also build offense percent mods with that, is what I'm saying. That's not great, but let's see where it goes. Yeah, so that's just what I'm saying. Like people can do whatever they want. All my man, what's up with these 8s? So all my advice are just that. It's advice. People can do and farm whatever they want, and if they have decent, or if someone wants to farm something else other than what I told them to farm, or they want to do something else that's not in line with what my advice is, then yeah, absolutely, more power to you. But the system where I've said of what I do is built upon making it approachable to every player. This is still decent, but I don't know about it. So, you know, like I'm trying to build systems that anyone in the game can look at and be like, okay, this is something where or they can follow my guides and be able to realistically do what I instruct. So it's simple, but also in the long run it'll benefit them. And that's what I try to aim for, is like simplicity, but also giving them the knowledge so that if they want to change what they're doing, then they can do that. And I think it's a balance between knowing or educating them what's high potential, but also them making the judgment call on themselves on what's the best to work with mod wise. And it's why can't I send you? So it's difficult. Let's look at these 8 ones. Hey, Zerivin. So it's just, you know, anyone can come here and just throw a statement out there and be like, statement. And I'll be like, yeah, statement. But, you know, like when trying to help players maximize their roster and give them a sustainable system that can be replicated that will benefit their account, then I try to have a system in place that can do that, where it's not too difficult, but also like they can build decent mods overall. So, you know, everyone has different mod standards, different mods, different places that they are in the game. But I think anyone can pick up my system and kind of run with it and build decent mods. So it's just I think a system that is good. I like it. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry that. Any of these interest me? Not really, but we'll see. This one, yeah. So yeah, it is pretty easy to work mods. You just gotta a lot of it is just habit at this point, but that's why I was saying before you came on, like, it's pretty wild how some people's systems that they have where they're doing everything and it's super inefficient. So I try to make my process not only easy, like able to be replicated, but also fast. Like that's what I aim for. All right, let's see what we have here for today. So let's lock you. A protection primary. I don't know what I'll do with that, but I'm sure I could find a home for it. Mods? I don't have a love-hate relationship with mods. This one's decent. This one's decent. This one does not have offense percent, but I may still be able to use it. I'll probably take these two. Mods are a hypothetical building of your own luck. I don't think so. I think it's just statistics. It's just statistics. So it's not a luck. I'll say this. Luck affects the like today. If today I built any mods that had the potential to be 6 dots, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 here that have the potential for me to continue working. But is it luck that I built these today? Yeah, sure, you could say that. Like I made, I don't know, three mods today that had the potential to take to 6 dots. But statistically, if you work your mods the same way over time and you do the same thing as far as how much mods you farm, how much slicing material, and you build a sustainable system where every week you're able to build good mods, then you run into, it's no longer statistics based. It's now at that point, it's going to be it's not going to be or it's not going to be luck based. It's going to be based off like the average and statistics and everything. This is a great mod right here, this offense one. Crit chance, potency, defense, offense on an offense primary here. I'm very interested in this one. This one can wait. I can put it on a character right now. This one is interesting me because I do need some of these, so I'm going to upgrade that one. Maybe this offense one if I have the bandwidth to do some more. 3 with 16, that's very good. This one's good too. I do need some more offense mods here, but I can just like place that on a character right now. But where is it at? This diamond here, I do need more diamonds with health, with some survivable stats. So tenacity, let's slice this one more time. Tenacity, not the best. Let's calibrate out this crit chance, see if I can hit speed, and it hit crit chance, so not the best, and it's even worse, somehow worse. So let's see if you can hit tenacity. Crit chance, so yeah, whatever. Sometimes, and see, this is what I'm saying, like sometimes you just, that's what it is. It's now a 15 speed mod, and I'll probably use this on like a pilot or something on that I don't care about too much, but it is what it is. This offense one, I could use this somewhere. So let's slice this. Potency, still good. I'm just gonna have to save it for later, but I don't know where I'll use it, but this is a good mod. I'm gonna keep working it. Yeah. I don't think there's anything I wanted. Last time I was pretty happy with where I was on these, so I'm not going to calibrate anything here, and then I'll find a home for this later. But 2 lackluster mods. This week we did not get a Smuggler's Run 2, but the characters like that were offense. If I can hit both those speeds later on that offense mod, then I could put it on pretty much anyone. Like any attacker that has offense mods can pretty much take a, like, even something like this, you know. You cannot sim Smuggler's Run 2. You have to play it. You can play it on auto though, so it's not that big of a deal. So something like a Jedi Knight Luke here or something, that would be a good one to replace with an offense primary. Who else needs an offense primary? R2-D2. If I hit some like fatty speed on that one, this one would be good to replace maybe. So I wouldn't mind an offense primary here. Grandmaster Yoda maybe, I don't know. Captain Drogon would be a good one. Starkiller already has an offense primary, so there's worlds where you can do that. I didn't do the protection one with 18 speed because it'll just be 19 speed, maybe probably fall around like 23 24 speed or something if I did hit it, and maybe I'll work it later, but like right now it's still pretty functional. I'll find a home for it. And then 6 dotting, it's they're saying war, but war. Yeah. Yeah, but building a sustainable system of mods, while offense percent are great, and I only see people that are like at the super top end of the game that have their mods established. They're the ones that recommend farming like offense percent mods as well as speed mods, because you do need them. It is true. So a lot of my characters do have them, and they're hard to build too, but you know, I think it's one of those things where over time you'll build them, and then I don't think you need to hard focus them. All right, or what's one? All right, let's get to the wheel. So we'll do our rolls here. I don't think I have any new requests today. I do. Okay, I have 2 people, so let me get them updated, or let me get the wheel updated, and then we'll do 2 free spins today on the wheel. Boom. So we got that last wheel one I did yesterday. I released it yesterday. That was a wild account. Wild. Walrus. And disable this. Zeriven. Alright. Let's get this account updated. Let's interact with my wheel. Alright, and then let's get the GAC reviews up in here. Alright, and then shuffle, 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 shuffle. Click that shuffle button a bunch of times. There you go. Oops. What did I do? I clicked the wrong one. I am shuffling. Shuffling. Alright. Let's do that here. This down there. Where do you add your accounts to the wheel? Burrito. How long have you been here, my friend? So Captain's roster reviews, number 2 here is where you put in the request, and then that's where you get on the wheel. And then I'll add you to my list. Are you in here? I don't see you here. So now my list, because I moved it, hold on, let me make sure it doesn't have my, so I moved it here into an Excel document so that it's easier. And then I also have rules here where if it's like a duplicate, it highlights it for me. So that way I don't have to like pay attention to numbers or anything like that. I can just ensure that it's not a duplicate. So yeah, that's where my list is. It's just saved locally on my computer. All right, well, that's where you get it, Burrito. It's a pretty good Discord. It's not just my Discord. It's a community one, so yeah. Hey Ben, happy that your review worked out for you and that you're making good progress. So let's spin this wheel. All right, let's get our golf clap hands ready. Warm them up a little bit. Who's gonna get it? Nena? Nena. Golf clap. Good for Nena. All right, what did Nena want? Nena. Yo no sé. All right, there it is. All right, what did she say? So Nena said, requesting for a roster review because of my suggestion to get one instead of getting a brief one from the Omni section. Honestly, no, with my luck with the wheel, I'll be long past my current farm, so would just, what are your thoughts on my account when you saw it in the future, and what would you if it is your account to improve it further down the line? All right, a little difficult to read, but I understand the gist of what she was saying. I understand it. The gist was picked up. So 57 Nena. Why don't I separate the player name on my Google Sheets? Maybe I should. That would probably be better. But for one, I don't want them to be separated when I copy and paste them on the wheel list. It just makes it weird. So putting in the name and then the ally code works out fine for me. Yeah. And then also I have like other ones. So I could, but the reason I did it that way too was it's like over 100 people, and when I originally copied and pasted it into Discord, they were together, and I just don't want to take the time to like separate them pretty much. So I'm fine with where they are, the way that it is. It's not like a huge deal to me. So probably apathy is the best answer of why it is that way. Is because it works, and I don't care too much about making ESL. So ESL is yeah, there is I know there's a formula where I could just separate them, but again, apathy. Like I just don't care. I don't care enough to and it's not, for one, Ray, it's not Google Sheets, it's Excel. So I'm using Excel. So it's different companies, right? Like Google and Microsoft. So I'm not using the web one. I have like Excel on my which Excel has that functionality too. And the reason why I haven't done it is because of all the things I can do to improve as a content creator. My least like thing I care about is how my list is formatted, to be completely honest. So like it's just not on my to-do list of things I care about. Oh, I'm glad you learned, Van. I'll say this, like the wheel is random. The wheel giveth and the wheel taketh away. So there was someone who put in a request 10:07. So put in a request less than a week ago, and they got their roster review. And that's just how the wheel works. So sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it doesn't. So Nena said she doesn't think she's gonna get a review anytime soon because of her luck, and then she got it after, let's see, 9:10. So a little more than a month. So I don't know. It's just random. Sometimes it's right away, sometimes it's not. And I do shuffle, so it's not because how long the wheel spin is a set time, but as far as the functionality of it, I shuffle it a random amount of times so that it's not always clicking the same or like around the same people, if that makes sense. So I do keep it as random as I can. All right, so we have Nena Thuringia with Eric's Squadron, 9.5 million GP. She's getting up there. Look at that. She's a big boy now. So 5.3 million in characters, 4.1 in ships, 15,000, almost 16,000 galactic war battles. So getting close to 4 years and some change. So I see that, like, it's pretty interesting because a lot of people who don't have Leviathans, like the Leviathan with the tie dagger is strong against all variants that aren't Leviathan. So Chimera, Profundity, Executor, this is the strongest variant of the Leviathan, and especially against like the triple attacker Executor. Like I have one that's like all R9s, I think, in my shard, and I pretty much have to reinforce with the Palp Mobile just to keep my bomber alive. So I go with this. If I go in with anything else, like it can die. I've never lost, but I go in, I just focus on keeping the bomber alive. I don't do any specials in the beginning because of the tenacity up. Once the tenacity up is down, you can start using your specials, but first reinforcement needs to be with the Palp Mobile. You heal your bomber, and then the whole thing is just like keeping the bomber alive. And then they come out with the Houndstooth. You mass assist on the Houndstooth. You take away its protection. It just dies like a punk. And then you just like from there you get to ult first and then you win. But it's a very, like, believe it or not, like people think, oh, you have the Leviathan, you can just beat everything, and you can, but you still have to learn the fleets. Like there's ways I put it on defense, there's ways that you do the mirror, there's things like it's a very nuanced fleet if you don't know it. I don't know why you have this Cad Bane here. I think you can do better than Cad Bane if this is your first. If you're using Jabba and Cad Bane is your bounty hunter, I would say that's a mistake. So you need to use Boba Fett. Boba Fett brings all the ladies to the yard. I love Boba Fett with my Jabba. So I don't think there's any, hey Tumblo, I don't think there's any use of having Cad Bane in there. Like Cad Bane just sits on the bench for forever, and then Boba, I do, if everything other than TW, where if you have Embo, I don't have Embo built up, so I use Boba for everything. But Boba Fett is the 5th Jabba the Hutt in Grand Arena. He just like deletes people with this execute, just straights yeetus deletus them. Would I recommend higher relics on Chrysanthemum? Yeah, I would. I honestly, the most important one is Bush. So as long as her Bush is nice and thick and developed, then that's fine. Like she has a nice thick bush, and that is what Jabba needs to survive. So like Chrysanthemum while is great, an amazing character, and I have mine at R7, and I do think you should probably like Zeta, but I don't remember what the Zeta does, but I did put the Zeta here and the Omicron because I think it's worth it to have Chrysanthemum survive for the off meta counters and stuff. But like, it's a nice to have, but as long as she has that like big bushy Leia, you know, like as long as her bush is nice and thick and higher relics, then Jabba is fine. Because the biggest determination for like, do you lose, is like, does your bush die? So with bush surviving, then yeah. Is it worth it? I think this is my opinion on Grand Arena Omicrons for GLs. Do I think they're worth it? I think they're always worth it. I think Chrysanthemum is worth it. I think the, does she have it? I don't think she has it. Captain Drogon's is worth it. I do think they're worth it. They're one Omicron. They elevate your GL. I think they're worth it. So, you know, do you apply it or not? That's a personal decision. But in my opinion, do I think having Grand Arena Omicrons that are paired with a GL like Chrysanthemum and also the, what do you call it? I literally just looked at him. Captain Drogon, then yes, I think it's worth it to have them perform at a higher level. So yeah, it's Cat is decent with a support cron. Yeah, I guess, but is that what this is, support cron? Nah. I still think he dies too easy. So like, you can because he's support, but I don't know. I still use mine with what do you call it? Even when I use support cron, I still use it with what do you call it? Boba Fett. So it's up to you, up to her. She can do whatever she wants. I think I did tell her when I talked about her Omicrons. I think I did tell her to her Chrysanthemum to put an Omicron on there because it's worth it. It's a worthy Omicron. I don't think she did it. Like, I think it's better than Captain Phasma. While Captain Phasma is okay in TW, man, your Qui-Gon Jinn needs some work. So let's look at what we got here. So you have Jabba, you have the 4 JML Ray SLKR, so that's good. Your fleets are fully developed, which is good. There are some characters that are less than built up here, which is fine. But let's look and see what we got. Alright, your Palpable is good. Yeah, that's fine. 5. People don't have to. I would at least give her 6 dot mods. At least. So, because even it's still worth it, I think, to have a Sith like this fighter with 6 dot mods. You want her to survive, even if you're not going to give her high relics. And also, she's a usable character. Like, you can use her in 3s with Malgus. I use Malgus, Sith Marauder, and Sith Assassin, and that's a full team and that can defeat some really strong things, and like Zoris or you know, a lot of things. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth it. I would like to see the Plo Koon built up because they have their Marauder up and running. So if you look at their Galactic Republic, if I had this built up as much as she did, then I would take Plo Koon to Relic 7 for the Negotiator versus Executor counter. And then I would probably take Anakin's up because you can go like Plo Koon, Marauder, Anakin, and then kill really strong Executors. So I would have this, I would get that up and running as soon as you can. But I don't know if it's like a priority right now looking at what you have. So that's just like a little pin. Let's put a pin on that one. I'm not saying it needs to happen right now, but that I would like to see that sometime because you've already invested in that fleet. It would be nice if you could, yeah, I think it would be nice if you had that invested. Sorry, I just got a text from my mom. It seemed concerning, but it was fine. All right, so it looks like you're working on Star Killer. Is that true? Look at your La Rebels. If you're working on Star Killer is a fine farm. Yeah, maybe you're working on Star Killer. So if you want to go and farm Star Killer, that's a perfectly fine farm. Let's look at your La Jedi. Yeah, Relic 9, Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon. Excellent farms. So yeah, Star Killer's fine. Plo Koon next. So the thing is, you're missing a good amount of GLs too. So what I want to do is I want to look and see for an account like this. It doesn't seem like you're necessarily close to anything. So I want to see what you have. But the thing with an account like this is this account has everything that's really important that I would say farm. Like they have Jabba, they probably have good fleet, they have good raid currency, they're able to participate in all their game modes, they have all their fleets, they have Inquisitors. The next thing that I would say probably needs to be a priority as far as like income wise, they have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis too, right? So they have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. So the next thing that would be income-wise is Mandalore. And they have the shards. So before Star Killer, I would have rather seen Bo-Katan Mandalore built up before Star Killer. I would say that with Bo-Katan Mandalore, she is a much easier TB mission to unlock for Mandalore. So if you have like 26 Bo-Katans or even 25 then in your guild, then you're probably going to unlock Mandalore pretty consistently. So maybe this player being at 9.5 million GP their guild doesn't need her to unlock Mandalore. But I would say if I had a choice between having Star Killer or having Bo-Katan Mandalore, as far as just pure effectiveness, I would say Bo-Katan Mandalore probably edges out Star Killer, because Star Killer isn't very effective without his Omicron, because it loses out a lot of the functionality, where Bo-Katan Mandalore is still a very good character in all game modes outside of her. Like her Omicrons make her better, but isn't everything. Where Star Killer's Omicrons are everything, or you need Juhani's Omicron in TW. So if I would have a recommendation, I would say I would rather this person build up Bo-Katan Mandalore first, and then go for, if they want to, Star Killer. But if they're really set on Star Killer, then Bo-Katan Mandalore right after that. And then they need to start working on some more GLs, because like while Star Killer is great, Bo-Katan Mandalore is great, they are GL killers, and you have things like Bane, Reva, like there's a lot of off-meta counters here, so this account's still going to perform. I would love to see some more GLs. So if this account could get Leia and JMK, then it would be pretty much fully functional. Like Lord Vader and C, while good, are more like, they're all good, right? All GLs are excellent, but those two are more like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on a whole lot by not having them, essentially. Like I would love to have them because they can absolutely dunk on some easier teams, and especially like or like Datacron teams, like having a Lord Vader and C can just like allow you to beat teams that are like elevated by Datacrons by just overpowering them with a GL. And Lord Vader's still an okay defensive GL, and depending on Datacrons, like he can be very strong. But I wouldn't say that's it, Tumblr. So if you take Lord Vader on offense, like if you take Maul and Lord Vader on offense, they're both very strong. So if you put Lord Vader on defense, you have to put really strong stuff. But the problem is, like, he does get beat very easy by Bo-Katan Mandalore or Darth Bane or JML. You know, like it's just, he has counters that are still relatively cheap. So you can use him for other things, but I would say if you put him on offense, he's gonna perform for you. Like he's gonna take out some stuff that is gonna help and elevate your account. Like I had to kill a beefed up Treya squad, and if I had Lord Vader, I could have just had him solo it, and I would have got perfect banners for killing like a triple Omicron team. So that's very strong. I don't watch Zera's stuff. Not that I'm against it. I just don't watch it. As far as like his best offensive and defensive teams, I do kind of like to. I'll say this: I don't watch a lot of content creator stuff anymore, just because, you know, as a content creator, I don't want to feel shoehorned into other people's stuff. I want to be able to like create my own content and be able to provide you guys with that content. So I watch his live streams though, but not so much his YouTube stuff. But his live streams I watch all the time because he's a excellent content creator. So, all right. So let's look at your stuff here. And I want to see how close you are to JMK and Leia, because like I'm fine with you going Starkiller, Bo-Katan, Mandalore, but I think you really do need to, not GAC, tools, gear tracker. Is it gear needed? I think it's gear, no, gear tracker. I would like to see which one is better. Like they're both good. This one, you're fairly close to JMK. Very, very close. And then Leia. Farther from Leia. So what I would do if I were you, I would go Starkiller, Bo-Katan, Mandalore, JMK into Leia, and then from there you will probably have the shards ready for like Baylan Skoll, Geo, Ahsoka is the farming pathway I would go. And then if you want to, if the 2025 fleet comes out, you can go for that. If you have the shards ready for like Geo, Ahsoka, or Baylan Skoll, and you want to get those first, then you can go that. Did you miss your review? What do you mean your review, Shinx? Like you just have to wait for the wheel, dude. You gotta wait for the wheel. Unless I reviewed you, I don't know. I don't think so. No. Yeah. Let's see. Gas. Nope. You, hey, Ray Rock. So, yeah. No, you did not gas. So, yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would do with this account. I'm like your Gear 12 stuff and all these other things. I'm not too like, oh, you need to get Phoenix up or you have to get your Bad Batch up. Like if you wanted to relic up your Bad Batch for the ship, that would like to relic 1 to make it a little more reliable. You can do that. But I would say it could wait till you farm Lord Vader overall. But like if I had this account and I inherited, just because if you're not sold on Starkiller, I think you can skip it. If you just want Starkiller because he's strong, then you can go for Starkiller, but Starkiller into Bo-Katan, Mandalore, and then you can start going into like JMK and Leia. From there you can start farming the new stuff like GL Ahsoka, Baylan Skoll, 2025 fleet, and that would be really strong for this account. But I think with Lord Vader and C, you're not losing out on a lot of functionality by not having JMK and Leia. You're losing out on a huge amount of functionality, and I'm sure if someone puts on defense like Leia and JMK, then and with good datacrons, then you're going to hurt out on a lot of like on a lot of power pretty much. And while they don't give you more income at this point of the game, you're pretty much where your income is established. Like you're 9.5 million, you have your assault battles, you have Jabba, you have the Jedi Bros, you have all the GL fleets, you have everything you need, and now you're at the point where like Bo-Katan Mandalore is, I think, the last thing you need that is like really income driven, that's going to help you. But again, your guild probably doesn't need that more than likely, or you're probably not important just because of how reliable that mission is. So you're willing to like hold off and get Star Killer first, maybe just because you want Star Killer and he's a good character, which I think he is. So you can go Star Killer and then go into Bo-Katan Mandalore because she's excellent, and then it's also good to help your guild with TV. And then you can go into JMK into Leia. Once you have those two, then you're pretty much like fully functional, except for like GL Ahsoka, Baylan Skull, which will lead into like the Great Mothers and another off-meta counter with Baylan Skull, who's going to be ridiculous, more than likely. And then you can go into your like GL Ahsoka. So that's what I would recommend for this account. Let's look at your mods. Look at your Datacrons too. I think you can do better on Datacrons, Nena. I think you can do much, much better on Datacrons. I don't know if these Datacrons are like, if the level 9s are important to you, because you just don't have like you don't have JMK. I don't think you have the, do you have, let's see. You have the Imperial Remnants? No, you don't have Imperial Remnants. Okay. So this set wasn't important to you because your Jedis aren't super great. You don't have Plo Koon, so I understand why you didn't build a bunch of level 9s. But the best way to get what you need for level 6s and level 3s are also like by taking them to level 9 when they hit the ones that you need. So you do have Rogue One, and you don't have a Rogue One Kron. So there was like one Kron that you needed, unless you got lucky here, but let's see. There's only one Kron that you really needed on this set, and that is the Rogue One Kron, because that like makes your Radis team like absolutely ridiculous. So, and you did not farm it. So if you could, I would say take this one to level 9 and then re-roll this level 6 till you get the wordy level 6 one, and that will elevate this one. At the start of the battle, Rogue One allies gain 100% max health, max protection, 60% offense, 20 speed, and if Jin is an ally, she assists whenever Rogue One uses another ally. And then this one down here. So if you can, take this to level 9, re-roll this level 6 until you get the Rogue One, and it is much better than this one right here. It is really, really good. So yeah, that's what I would recommend as far as your Datacrons. But I would say, you know, like taking to level 9, SLKR is fantastic. Your JML is amazing. It's okay. Like I do recommend 550 speed, 1 speed off for Shane. I like a little more potency too, but not bad. Ray's good. Jabba, La Jabba. This is good. This is good. I like a little more tenacity. Not a must, but I do like it. And then your Bush, 347. That's not bad. A little surprised to see Bush as your fastest. 347's a little slow for the fastest at your level. I think maybe it's your mod depth or something. I don't know where your last 300 is. Yeah, so your mod depth isn't as good as I would like it to be completely honest. It's still not bad if you look at this. It's not horrible, and TIE Fighter Pilot is naturally fast, so it really is kind of crazy. Let's see, Gen 303, 295. So your speed thresholds kind of like drop really quickly. 301 for Master Qui-Gon. Okay, so 4, 12, 20, 24, 300 plus speed characters. Not bad. Not bad at all. So let's look at your mod score. I'm interested to see. Not horrible. I think over time, especially as you're building your, now that you have Jabba, which I don't know how long you've had, but if you have Jabba, you're doing your three refreshes for your mod energy, and you're following the speed thresholds. Yeah, you're good. So your mod score is actually not horrible, very comparable to mine, so not bad. You just like to spread your mods around, or maybe your characters, I don't know. But not a bad mod score, honestly. So here, I'll show you guys. So I'll take that back, but very comparable. Not bad at all. 7.56, 12.51. A lot of 25s, so and then it kind of like falls off right here. But and that's why I would say like her top end was a little slow, is because she doesn't have a lot of like 26 plus mods, but a ton of 25s and an amazing amount of 20 plus. So a good depth of mods overall, I would say. Just not for that like super top end characters that you would normally see. But yeah, not bad. Good. I don't see anything wrong with the priorities here. Crew is a little weird having him this fast. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sorted by speed anymore. So I'm not seeing anything weird with the priorities here. Mara Jade will get a little faster once she gets, I don't know, what is this, like 668, so 6 more speed. Nothing wrong with the priorities here. TIE Fighter pilot is just like naturally fast, and then she put, yeah, so this isn't like a blazing fast character or anything. She just has like okay mods on him, and then he's just like a deceptively fast character. Yeah, but like everything here makes sense. Is good. Is good. Master Qui-Gon's pretty easy to get faster, but just not the fastest mods on here. Looks like a little chasing speeds. So maybe these are old mods, but I would not 6-dot mods just to have 6-dot mods on characters. If those are old ones, then you know, that's fine. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, a great account. So I looked at mods, I looked at your datacrons, I gave my recommendations. Your ships are completely fine. There's not much I would change on those as far as I can see. Like your fleets are fully developed for the most part. There's Plo Koon I would get up sometime. Other than that, that's the review, the farming pathway I would give you. I already gave my recommendations for Omicrons. Yeah, but I would save at least 2 for Star Killer and 2 for Bo-Katan Mandalore if you have them, and then from there, you know, it's up to you on what you want to save or use them for. But yeah, excellent account overall. Alright. Interesting account though. I'm glad I can look at I looked at the mod score, because I wouldn't want to say she didn't have good depth, because she does. Very good depth of mods. Just like that top end of speeds a little, I don't know. Usually you see a bit like more like 360s, 350s, 340s holding a little more. But it looks like she values placing more mods like spread out throughout her account than kind of having like top end speed on characters. Yeah, very interesting. Alright, next we have one more spin of the wheel for free reviews today. So let's remove Nena from both my lists. I hope that helps her with what she needs. A good account though. Very good account. Very solid. I like what she did. It's very in line with focusing on income and making good farming choices. I think the only thing she probably could have done better was bought the Star Killer bundle. If she would have bought the Star Killer bundle, she would have already had Star Killer, and then she could have gone all in on Bo-Katan Mandalore. But you know, that's like critiquing something that she didn't spend $50 a year ago. So I would never do that. That was a personal choice I made. But if it does come back, I do think it's like a solid bundle. It really is. Let's shuffle this. Shuffle. But yeah, a very solid bundle. I think it's worth it overall. Like, I thought it was a good bundle. Like you pretty much get like a GL level character just for $50. So I bought it. You regret not getting it? I don't regret getting it. So, all right, we have IronThatcher. Good job. Congratulations, Mr. Thatcher. All right, let's see what we got here. What do we got working here? So IronThatcher with the Vader's Fist with SB Schwartz Awakens. So 10.6 million GP. Cool. So this is a bigger count. So let's look and see what they wanted. Maybe they said like, review me, bro. But I don't know. We'll see what it is. What it is. What's up on what they wanted. Because some people want a very specific thing. They're like, give me this very specific farming thing that I wanted. And some people are just like, review me, bro. Give me what you got. Some people write whole essays. So we'll see. They requested a while ago. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Hey Guppy, how's it going? I just did my final free review for today. Let's go. Alright. So, waiting for Profundity event at the end of the month and finishing up Bo-Katan Mandalore requirements for a September goal. After that, unsure what I should focus on. I would still like to finish my ships, which should be Inquisitors for, they said Seed, but Scythe, or level up Marauder pilots. Thanks in advance. I'm doing a 12-hour stream, Beast Mode. I was doing a 12-hour stream at that time. I was. Alright, let's remove you. Yeah. Did they really ask if they don't say bro at the end? Yeah, I would say yeah. IronThatcher. Cool. So how much time do they have played? Cheese and crackers Batman. Look at this. Not even 3 years played. 11.5 million. Either this person lives in Russia or they are cash spendaring pretty crazy like with 11.5 million. Insane. Wow. 6 GLs. Jar Jar, DTMG, Terran Malicos, Darth Bane. They are stop Star Killer. Tons of Omicrons. They're just Omicroning everything. So I would say this. I don't know if you're spending money on your Omicrons and that's why you're so liberal with them. You would have to be, right? Like there's no way they have this many Omicrons, but there are some garbanzo beans Omicrons in here. And if you're spending money on them, I would say you should be more selective on what you're doing with your Omicrons. So like TB Omicrons, a waste. Don't do TB. Don't do like TW and Grand Arena are or raids in some circumstances. Raids are really good too. So yeah, this guy is a whale. That's fine. I don't shame spending as long as it's within, you know, as long as they're not like spending above their means, which I assume everyone isn't. Then they're putting money into this game that they love, and it's just a hobby. So there's nothing wrong with spending money in a hobby that you enjoy if it brings you enjoyment and it's within your spending means. So nothing wrong with that, and it supports the game and it keeps everyone else. Like I spend money on this game. I spend at least $100 a month on this game. Yeah, so I buy the Chirotech packs, I buy the monthly I forget what it's called. It's cargo something. It has like the signal data, the weekly Monday one, and then I buy a $10 pass as well. So I don't know what I would consider myself, like a dolphin or something. So again, I'm a content creator, so I do it so that I can make more content for you guys. But if someone enjoys this game, then more power to them. But I would say in the future, just like you can save money by not putting Omicrons on like super trash characters, and that would be a benefit to this account. So 6, let's look at your ships. So they have all 3 GL ships too. Hey Lorgio Cordova, how's it going? So they don't have Marauder up and running. Hey Guapo, thanks for the donation. I'll add you to my next one, Guapo. Thanks to you for that donation and the support. Alright, so what would I do with this account? Profundity. I probably would accelerate Profundity to 7 stars just so that you can use it in TB. And while Profundity is like 90% useful where it is, I do think having a 7-star Profundity is much better than having a 5-star Profundity. Also, it's just you can start using it in TB too, and then you can use it in TB. So having the Profundity available for TB adds a lot of TB points, because every phase you're getting like 400, 700, 900k of missions that you're able to do, up to like 1 million something. So Profundity for TB, same thing. Executor, Profundity, Leviathan, Negotiator, all important TB fleets that you can use. Chimera too. So having access to those are very, very good in being able to like maximize your TB points. While I can't do a lot of like the R9 or R8 nodes, what I can do every single phase is max out all the fleet nodes. So I would say getting a 7-star Profundity allows you to push up or punch up in TB, which can be very useful when your guild's unlocking like Zepho and Mandalore, and you want to not only do those but get as many stars as possible. So all the points matter at that point once you're the higher up you go into TB. So yeah, so look at your Inquisitors or your Empire. You're close to Scythe, I think you said. So do you have your Inquisitors? So I would say Inquisitors would be a good farm for you, because you're missing out on some pretty big things right now. So I don't know how close you are to Riva, but Inquisitors would probably be the best thing that you can do with your farm right now. And then getting ready for like Balin's Skull and GL Ahsoka. So like finish Inquisitors, get the Scythe, get that TIE Interceptor up and running, then go into Balin's Skull, GL Ahsoka. Then you can come back, visit Lord Vader for your Bad Batch. And then if you finish those earlier, if you finish your Inquisitors, GL Ahsoka, Balin's Skull early, then you can come back and start working on your pilots first, and then finish off Lord Vader, is what I would do for this account. I would hold off on gas unless you're getting him up for GL Ahsoka, but I would recommend doing that, getting your Inquisitors up and running, especially for that ship, so you can see. I can't see your guys' chat, guys. I'm in the middle of giving my synopsis on what I would do for this account, and then I'll comment on you guys. So give me like just 2 seconds. This is like a very important part of what I do here, as far as like giving him the synopsis on what I would do for that account. Like where I tie it all together and tell him my plan of what I want. So yeah, so Inquisitors, Balin Skull, GL Ahsoka, then start coming back and doing finishing the I honestly, I wouldn't even do Lord Vader first. I would do JMK. So Inquisitors, Balin Skull, GL Ahsoka, JMK, then Lord Vader is what I would do. And then you can finish off Maul when you start working on like Lord Vader. So yeah, that's what I would recommend for this account. Let's look at your mods. And yeah, I get your did you just want me to comment on him calling me a smooth brain, or that my head is so smooth? If you don't notice, there's like, I grow hair. I shave it because one, I have to get weekly hair cuts. So I shave my head so it's easier. Once I leave the military, I retire from the military in 3 years, I'll grow actual hair. I'll like maybe do like a comb over with like a part or something. We'll see what I'll do, but a mullet? Probably not a mullet. I don't think $100 a month is whaling, to be honest. Whaling is like something it's not kraken, but I think it's like a dolphin. I think $100 a month is a dolphin. Whaling is spending like hundreds of dollars a month on the newest characters. That's like whaling. Hey Thunderfist, thanks for the follow. The officers shave their heads. It's not that. So when we have to, because we have to get a haircut like every single week, and some people just care more about how they look, and I don't care too much. Like I'm married. I'm not trying to entice a new lover or anything crazy. I have like a decently shaped head, and even before I shaved, I like kept my hair fairly short anyways. So once I started shaving it, honestly, even my family didn't even notice. They didn't say anything to me. So I just like asked my wife. I was like, "Do you care?" And she was like, "No, I don't care. I like how it looks too." So I just kept shaving it. So it takes me 5 minutes every Sunday morning, instead of having to spend like 2 hours to go drive somewhere, wait in line, get a haircut, then come back home. And then that would be this time right now. Like the time that I'm spending with you guys would be time I would spend getting a haircut. So yeah, maybe when like I said, when I retire, I can get a haircut like once a month, or I don't know how often you guys get haircuts. Is there nobody who cuts hair on base? Yeah, there is, but they're also, so we have to get haircuts by Monday morning. I'm supposed to have my haircut, and I am a leader, so I have to lead by example. So every Monday morning I have to have my haircut. So if I show up without haircuts, it looks bad on me. And then it also, the base is, there's tons of people who need haircuts on the base. So if I go to the base for a haircut, it takes like, even though they have tons of barbers, it could take like an hour or two. So I would be sitting there for an hour or two waiting for a haircut. So like, yes, they do, but it takes forever, and I would rather spend like 5 minutes instead of like 2 to 3 hours a week. So yeah, like just time wise. All right, so let's look at these mods. This guy's probably like, what does his hair have anything to do with my roster review? Like, what is this guy talking about? I have to like sit here and watch him talk about his hair, my bald head. See what you guys do? You guys make me sit here talk about my head instead of this guy's account. So speed's okay. I like 580. All the other stats are good. The mods could probably be improved somewhat, but not horrible. Like, yeah, that's fine. This is okay. Yeah, like solid mods. This is a good. I like tenacity, some speed, health. So yeah, this guy mods well too. Yeah, solid. Some potency, speed, protection primary, health. Speed is really slow on your Leia. I would like to see more speed here. Where do you have like lackluster speed? 23, 26, 25, 21. No, I guess. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Here, let me see. Maybe I'm wrong. What speed is this? 525? Maybe Leia's just slower than I thought she was. Maybe I'm like 562. Yeah. Why is mine so crazy different in speed than his? Oh, does he not have a speed set on? Maybe. Well, relics don't affect speed because I'm like I usually recommend around 560s. It's probably the sets that he has on there. Let me look. Because I was like, it seems like a crazy slow Leia. Probably has all health set. Yeah, all health. So I would recommend a speed and a health set. You have relics on here, so her all health is fine. But I would much rather you have like 560 speed with decent health than have, because you could always like relic 9 her and then give her a speed set, and that would be better. So yeah, like I would change these. Maybe give them to C or something. I don't know. Yeah. Health. Yeah, so I would probably give most of these mods over to C, and then give her a speed set overall. Because your Leia is crazy slow. Crazy slow Ray too, which isn't horrible, but I would like. Yeah, so like this is like unnecessary right here. This is just not a good mod, and this isn't good. Hey Kyle Young, how's it going? I don't mind offense primaries, but like I would not have taken this up. Like, yeah, it's health, but like who needs tenacity and flat defense? This is just a bad mod. This is a pilot mod. Like I would much rather have an offense or a health primary with some fatty offense and decent speed than that. Like this, it's still not ideal, but it's okay. Like this is okay, but still really slow. So these mods, not that great. Like this is again like okay. I do like her to have a little bit of speed, but man, this is like horrible. Like this is unnecessarily slow, and I get it with your offense primaries, but like why this one? You know what I mean? Like out of all your mods, why this one? You have 1 hit on health, 2 extra hits on speed, but 5 on flat health and 1 on potency, and you're like, I'm taking this all the way to the moon. So these two aren't very good. You can give them to someone else, like Sith Empire Troopers, or not Sith Empire, Sith Empire, or Sith Fighter? Not Sith Fighter, Sith Trooper. There you go. You can give them to Sith Trooper. Your mods are okay, depth-wise. Honestly, for how long they've been playing, I'm surprised that they have this depth of mods. They probably buy mod packs too, if I imagine. Or they're just buying energy to invest in their mods, but I'm really surprised. So with R2-D2, you want him to have an offense set. Well, do you have Leia? Yeah, you have Leia, right? So R2-D2, you want offense sets with like health primaries with as much offense percent that you can get on there, because he shares his stats, and you want his special damage to be like through the roof. Is what I would do with R2. Like your mods are good. 309. They're okay, is what I would say. Usable. Not very bad at all. 300, so Yeah, for the time played, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 plus 300 characters. Look at the mod score for this account, but honestly, not bad. Not bad. Like, I would change this, like, I would probably put some, I would change the mods on Leia, and maybe you went with full health because that's what you had. You know what I mean? But I think you could do better overall with your Leia. But for how fast you've grown this account and what you developed and the mods and everything, so 8.54, excellent mods overall. Yeah, so a good depth, a very good depth of mods. But I would just change the for what I would change. I would just change the Leia mods. I would change the R2-D2 mods, but yeah, good depth. Probably a little bit of a cash spend-aring here for how long he's been playing, but solid, really solid. Yeah. All right, so that's all I have for this account. Good account. Very good. Very impressive. But I would recommend Gabo. So we got a request here. Oh, I do have to go over to this so I can refresh and get your message again. Do this. Excellent account, IronThatcher. Oh man, what time did we start that? Can anyone go back and see what time we started that? I'll have to go back and do it. Man, I did not timestamp it. Oh well. Next we have is Guapo. Alright, so Guapo, did you want to join me in voice chat so we can have a conversation about your review? You don't have to. You can just tell me what you want and then I'll just give you your review. But if you want a voice chat, then you can join me in Discord and then we can have a chat while I do your roster review. Alright, so you left the comment in Discord. That's good. Oh, come on here. You do want to? Okay, cool. Are you in my Discord? I imagine you are. Members. Here. Let's go to here. La Guapo. I don't see. What's your Discord name? Are you Gabo? I think maybe it is. Here. Yeah, you're Gabo. Here. Let me message you. And then I will give you a voice call. Gabo. Alright, I sent you a Discord voice call so you can go ahead and join me on here. So I'm going to delete your messages real quick. So delete that. And then delete this. Apologies. Alright, so I'll go ahead and read your stuff while you're joining voice chat. So you're at 9.3 million GP. Here's your ally code. I'm currently going for Leviathan. Got stuck on 60 Malik shards and like 120 shards for other ship. Other than that, I have been farming Bo-Katan requirements on the side. Got enough for 6 dot all around, and I'm contemplating going for GL Ahsoka. I really enjoy GAC as my reason for playing. I am interested in any suggestions you may have for my account. Thank you very much. Alright, are you in voice chat, Guapo? You are not. You don't see the call? It's right here. I'm calling you. Said Captain Amazing started a call. Go to your messages or try to voice chat me. Like try to send me a DM. You should see it. Like, you can see here. Here's you. Here's the voice call. It's waiting on you. So if you go to your messages, you should see it. On the Discord. Is this a Darth Loquitur disciple? Yeah, I guess so. If they're Inquisitor, if they say Inquisitor Guapo or whatever, then usually they are a Darth Loquitur fan. So.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm alright. Thank you.
Alright. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico, man, but I live in New Jersey.
Really? Oh, I am also, well, I'm Mexican in origin. Like my family's from Tijuana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I am, I also spent some time in New Jersey as well. I lived there for 3 years, up in Bergen County.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so because I thought, so English is your second language?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I not to be like too much of a critique, but I kind of thought so just because of your message.
Accent, yeah.
Not your message, your message. You did not use like a single pair like period. You used commas. so you like it's all one sentence. So
I do that a lot, yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah, it's okay. So when I went to college, I had to like, because you know, like Americans are horrible even if they speak only one language anyway. So I had to like relearn it when I went to college because I like using commas because that's how I talk. But
yeah,
you know, it's just
no. I mean, when I need to, you know, actually use punctuation, I use it. I mean, for college as well. So just for Discord chats, I mean, I use the comments, whatever.
yeah. No, it's okay. I was just curious.
No,
all right.
No problem.
So real quick, shout out to the Wolf. How you doing, dude? Thanks for joining me. All right, so Mr. Guapo. All right, so you are a fan of Darth Loquitur?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what my chat was saying. I am a fan of Darth Loquitur too. He's a nice guy. I haven't been able to watch him much over the last year, but a very intelligent man. So 9.3 million GP, 5.5 in characters, 3.7 in ships, and then 11,000 galactic war battles. Okay. So did you learn mod work from me or from Darth Loquitur?
I don't think, well, this account is like 2 years old.
Uh-huh.
So I don't recall. I mean, I learned modding from Loquitur. I didn't. I don't know if you were around 2 years ago, but I found you recently. I found you recently, like a couple months ago. So
okay. No, I was just curious, so I can get like because he is a very good, very in-depth mod person. So
he's very methodical.
Yeah.
His approach to mods. Yeah.
I see you're missing some Zetas on your GLs. You should probably get them. So is that where your next Zetas are going? Is to your GLs?
Nah. I'm
should.
I'm starving, man.
Yeah.
I got no status.
Well, I mean, you could have. There's
account is like 2 years old, and like, the growth is exponential, you know, especially with the bundle.
Well, yeah, I get it, but in your Omicron usage, you're a little generous, I would say, on some of them. So there's some Omicrons I probably wouldn't have placed, like Zam's Omicron, I think is not necessary. The leader for Queen Amidala is not necessary. Your Mara Jade, I don't know, probably not necessary. Let's look at your Jedi. So Mara Jades, do you have Star Killer?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so Juhani's is more important for TW. Like, you can still use Mara Jade with Empire to kill some other stuff, but like if you wanted to use Star Killer in TW, like Juhani is pretty much like necessary for that. So like just some prioritization. Like I wouldn't do Zams at all. Like for anyone, there's nothing you can do, right? Because you already placed it. But I think it's an older one.
Oh, so yeah, it's a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
2-year-old's
Yeah, it just didn't age very well. So and Bounty Hunters just kind of like fell off, except for Jabba. So
right.
Yeah. Like Ahsoka Taka Fulcrum's, hers is like a luxury, I would say, because it's bugged anyways.
Fulcrum?
Yeah.
I mean, I use it all the time to take out Star Killer.
Well, there's it doesn't ignore taunt a lot of the time, so you won't be able to like ignore the taunt.
I've seen that,
and then that causes you to possibly lose it. So that's the one thing that's annoying about it, is you can't like sometimes it's bugged pretty much right now. So yeah, but it's still good, but not a bad Omicron, just bugged right now.
I mean, I wrote that the main concern is GAC, but just being on a 500 million GP guild, I mean, you gotta have compromises. You know, they need to have like at least this amount of TW Omicrons, and you know.
Well, it depends on your guild. So my guild's like 530 million. We have a very good TW record. I think we're like 80% win rate or something. A very good guild. We're winning right now. So like a good guild overall. They punch up in everything, but not all TW or not all guilds in that range, because some guilds, like if you look at the guild recruitment server right now, they are very very like, we want the world from you right now. If you look at these things, like here, let's look like 520, 540. Like look at this requirement. Like we want everything from you. Like we're looking for the world and up. So not everyone is like that, like these guilds. So plenty of them are, if you find some, like there's some diamond in the roughs here, there's some like decent ones. They're not all just like ridiculous. And yeah, see, like this guy, like must ping drops in Discord, no battle logging otherwise. Okay, that's fine. But there's a like lot of rules, there's guilds out there that don't require, and don't get me wrong, I think a 4-to-1 ratio for TW is good. Like TW Omicrons to GAC Omicrons, like 4 GAC Omicrons to 1 TW Omicron is a good balance to strike for. I'm pushing that. I definitely am not 4-to-1 right now, just because how many I need for GAC is kind of like crazy with all these new characters. So you know, like you just got to do what you got to do. And sometimes if they're like, we need you to do this, you just be like, okay, and then just not do it. And then if they keep calling you out, then you can find a new guild. But like you got to prioritize. Like Callerbeck's a good one too. But the overall, I'm just saying, like these characters where you're like, oh, I'm gonna use 3. Like actually you use the wrong one on Jar Jar. Like Misa Okade is probably the one you want to skip. Mui Mui I Love You is probably the one of them ones that you want. So you're probably gonna, if you in the future have to do that one sometime, maybe, I don't know. But either way, like a lot of these are like a 2 and done. So like you don't need the lead for Queen Amidala, that's a luxury one. Just stuff like that. Like you can skip. Like Ben.
I try doing some research, you know, looking on Reddit or different content creators, and like, they got their guide, and I follow a few, but then you find some that they have different opinions.
Yeah, so of course it's all opinion based.
No, I mean, I don't have the time to read these huge chunks of text. You know, it's unbelievable. The kids nowadays are just too complex.
That's what I do. Like that's how I give advice to people, right? I'm like, okay, new character. Honestly, usually it's like people will just ask me on the fly, like, Captain Amazing, what should I do here? And I'm like, I don't know anything about this character, and I'll just like read the kits and then the team's kits to make sure I'm not missing anything, and then I like, yeah, this one's skippable. So yeah, just one of those things. But usually most triple Omicron characters have one that's completely skippable, like a luxury. So like Star Killers is the tire throw. You know, Queen Amidala is the lead. Jar Jar's the Misa Okado. The Bo-Katan Mandalore has one. I forgot which one it was. But she has one that's a luxury. So a lot of them are. The only one that doesn't is Malicos. Hey Andy, how's it going? Terran Malicos, you need all of his. Like Savage Oppress, I would take him up to relics, like Relic 5 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to get the Seed Trio for the longest time, but I don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, well, he's good. You should have done it like a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure.
I finished, like, I got him up when I got like Wampa up. I did like Wampa Savage, put their Omicrons on because they're good.
Right.
So what Tambor are you spending your get 3 on what?
Nah, I'm not gonna pick up Yemen Kenobi until
you should
have a pack of work or something, man.
You should be like give him as a mod, like put a triangle there for him. Like a speed triangle, just something. Because he has a Zeta, you can use him. But also I would use get 3 just to finish Watt, because looking at what you have here, like you have Rey, SLKR, Lightspeed Bundle characters, right? You have Jabba, Leia, JML, which are like that farming pathway that fits in really well with like Profundity Executor. You said you're going Leviathan right now?
Yeah, I'm stuck on Malak. I spent some get 1 that I didn't have, so I'm just waiting on that. 60 more shards.
Well, use your Mark II as well, right?
Yeah, just waiting on the raid and
is that
get 1.
Is that all you're waiting on for that one? Other than the ships?
I need 120 for one of the ships. I think it's the tank where the Fennec Shand is.
Yeah,
the bomber.
Yeah, I would double farm this.
I'm triple refreshing it.
Okay, yeah. So that's a good one. I see you're still not past the bottleneck for ship credits, right? Like ship credits are still an issue for you.
Like 20, that's it. Like 20 million, that's it.
Yeah, so that's fine. So you will want to get like your Sith fighter up and running. So I would just spend them on getting these guys up and going, like Sith fighter, Mark 6 interceptor. Like you need them; they're not optional. So you saving your credits is not like, because honestly, I would start getting your Marauder up too. Like I would take him to Relic 7. So while you're waiting on Malak and everything, I would take your Marauder up and running. And even with this star, and 7-star him. For shame, sir. For shame. But like I would get this guy up and running, start like gear 11 right away, and then finish his last star. Are you farming a star?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Okay.
The last ship I need, the one
Yeah. So
the one I need.
And then put the investment into the Sith fighter Mark 6 interceptor, because believe it or not, this fleet right now is actually good with with like not just the Chimera, because the Chimera is good on its own. Like it's actually pretty good with like the Endurance, or you can use them under Home 1 or something. Like, and you put them on defense and they're actually really strong. So you'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, I would put them like under the Endurance, I guess. Or maybe the Executrix, but they are a very, very strong fleet. Yeah, your prestige on these suck, but you can put them on any one of these 3. Most people do the Endurance, and it requires a real fleet to beat. So while you're building up your stuff, if you put your Sith team almost as if they are the Leviathan survivability wise, just not without the ultimate and like the offensive capabilities, but it takes a real fleet to beat them. So I would put them under the Endurance. You could, even if you want to, you could even like relic up Mace to Relic 3, because he's a good character. You don't have to put any more investment in these, but Relic 3 your Mace if you have the bandwidth, because like he's a good Jedi even without his Zetas. And then you can put your Sith under Endurance as a defensive fleet, and it'll probably get you some holds. If not, like some people may get stuck on it if they underestimate it, because with the Fury class interceptor in them, they're all really strong.
Interesting. I haven't thought of that at all. No, it's good.
So, and that's like an immediate thing you can do. You can also just put them under home 1 if you really want to, but your home 1 abilities suck as well. So I would probably just put them under endurance. Endurance has some really good survivability. So just take them to level 85 at least on the ship and then do that.
Okay.
Yeah, his Executrix isn't really built up either. You can do it under Executrix, but either or, like anyone you want to. You could do Executrix, you can do Endurance, like I said, or Home 1. It just whatever you want.
All right, and after Leviathan, I was thinking doing either Mandalore or Ahsoka, but
I think
I don't know what else I can do.
I think you're good for JMK. If you can get through, or like if you can get Watt. Are you close to Watt? Like how many stars are you?
I need like 30 more shards, I believe.
30? Yeah, like JMK is good. Like you'll love JMK. JMK is like really strong. So farm JMK, then you can go into the new stuff like Balin, the Balin Skull, Geo Ahsoka. So just finish JMK. You don't have to, like, you can keep him R7. You can keep his requirements at R7 and then go for Balin Skull, Geo Ahsoka, or Geo Ahsoka, Balin Skull. I think you'll be ready. So if you finish Leviathan, JMK, then you can go into the new stuff. And then after those, you can go Bo-Katan, Mandalore.
Okay, yeah, but by the time I finish farming all the single hard nodes, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah. So it's gonna take a while, to farm this stuff for that, and that's why I'm saying like you have the time to farm, finish Leviathan. As you're waiting on the Leviathan requirements, as far as like the shards and everything, just start putting investment into your JMK and getting all those up and running. So like the whatever you have for that. So as long as you're like, I'm pretty sure you're shard farmed for it.
Yeah.
So I would say just start side farming your JMK while you're waiting on the shards that you need for Leviathan, after you get your everything for Leviathan done. So whatever you're doing for Leviathan, put that investment into it, and then the resources that you don't need for Leviathan, start putting them into JMK.
All right.
Yeah, but trust me, once you get JMK, and you don't have, he's not someone that you need to like R8, R9 him to be useful. Like R7 is perfectly fine. The team is very strong. He's probably the least needed R8, R9 GL. So
yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, so just R7 him. If you want him for like TB for like R8 nodes or R9 nodes, you can for that purpose. But until then, like perfectly fine.
Be too rich for my blood, man.
Yeah, so perfectly fine at R7. Yeah, and that's what I would pretty much do for your account.
All right, and
I would continue finishing your shards on all your ships, like the MG100 Star Fortress. Believe it or not, like Radis is a pretty good fleet once you. And also, believe it or not, because you haven't been playing that long, even though you have like a good amount of stuff, like all these bottlenecks for fleets break, like every single one. Like you break your prestige, you break your ship credits, you break your ship omegas, like every single bottleneck in ships break. They're not like the ground where you have like 270 plus characters. There's only like 60 some ships in the game. So every single bottleneck breaks. So farm all your ships, farm all the stars on them, like every single one. And then slowly but surely you'll get every single one of these ships fully upgraded. It's including the crappy ones like Endurance and Radis and Home 1 and Executrix is so good because you run out of, like, you just break the bottlenecks and then you just dump all your stuff. So I thought the same thing. Like, I'll never take Executrix, Endurance, Radis, Home 1 up, but then my prestige bottlenecked and I have like 1500 saved in all these max. So you can absolutely invest everything in them, but just save the prestige that you need for profundity and your Leviathan first, and then start slowly putting that extra ones in these other things that you don't have fully upgraded. Like the basic is actually like these abilities here for the Chimera, you want all of them upgraded. Like the basic is one of the most important things on this fleet, other than the
basic.
Yeah, the basic. Like you basic,
really?
The most damage you could do is you basic with the TIE Defender. So it makes the TIE Defender assist, and then you like mow people down with it. So the basic is very important. You also want like the tractor beam and this one, Fierce Loyalty, fully maxed. So you like fully maxed the Chimera, but the basic is very important for Chimera. So there's other ones like same thing. The Finalizer, the basic is the most important, as well as the alt and this one, because same reason you make him what is it, the TIE, not Echelon, the TIE Fighter, TIE Silencer, sorry. You assist with the TIE Silencer, so you always use the basic to make the TIE Silencer attack. Right. So the basic and the alt is the most important. These are whatever I like. I don't remember any time I've used it. Maybe one time I used like Ravage, because like but Anakin's health was like at a sliver and I AoE'd to kill him, but like that's once in a year, you know. Like, so every other time I'm using Lay Waste or the alt. Okay. So and then Malevolence, you want every single ability upgraded, because it's like a pilotless ship. The Malevolence is based off of the summons are based off the Malevolence, so you want it to be fully upgraded so that the summons are as strong as they can be. This one's fine, impeccable timing. That's like not a big deal. You can leave that. I would still get it upgraded before you upgrade like the endurance or something, or the home one, but you know, like, and same thing as the Executrix. So there may be a time where you split your Chimera and your Executrix, because if you split up, if you have all the Empire ships and you have all the Empire fleets, then you can use the Chimera to take out an Executor, and you can use the Executrix to take out a Profundity, and that could be useful if they don't have like a Leviathan, because if they have a Leviathan, then you need all the Empire ships to kill the Leviathan with the Chimera, right? But if they don't have a Leviathan on defense and they just have like an Executor and a Profundity, then you can split the Chimera and the Executrix fleets to get that. But the Scythe summons are based off the Executrix, so that's why you fully upgrade this fleet as well whenever you can. And then once you farm like C or Lord Vader, you'll get your Tarkin built up. So, and you should at least have like 5 dot mods on him. He's still you never know when you need to use the ship, so I would at least have some mods on him.
That's good calls, man. I've been as I was hearing you, I kept my Chimera maxing out the basic, and I had the Star Fortress. I also had a 7 stars. I didn't realize, so I just
okay. But make sure you save prestige for the Leviathan though. Like, don't use all your prestige, but the Finalizer Chimera, like anything you have more than, I think it's like 1950 or something, anything more than the 1950 you have saved for the Leviathan, you can start putting into these other fleets, like the basics for Chimera, the basics for Finalizer, fully upgrading the Malevolence. Once you have all these done, like Chimera fully upgraded, basic for Finalizer, all of them for Malevolence, then you can do either the Negotiator basic or start working on the Executrix. And then you could do the Radis too, once you have the ship credits, because that breaks before everything else. And then the Radis, once you have the TIE Fort, you have the fully fleshed out Radis if you would have had this. So once you can put prestige on this and she's 7 stars, it actually like just dunks on Malevolence on defense too. Or, you know, so there's a lot of things that you can do with it. Or you can just put it on defense. It's still like an okay defensive team with the comeuppance. So
all right, I like it. And I was looking at the mods. I'm just wondering if my mods or my GLs are okay.
Yeah, of course I'll look at them. Your SOKR is a little slower than I like.
Okay.
So, you know, but that's like really nitpicky. Probably this cross here is something that you can get rid of if you find something better, and then that might be able to help you with your speeds a little, because you can get like, if it's a plus 25 speed mod, you can get like 8 more speed on there. The crit damage one is okay, it's not great, but I understand like crit damage ones are hard to find. You're going to want to replace this circle because it doesn't have offense percent on it. So as soon as you find a circle with like good speed and offense percent, you're going to want to change that. The diamond isn't amazing either. Like it's 5 hits on speed, but it's only 22. And it's like 4% offense, which is okay, but he doesn't need crit chance at all. So you can upgrade that one. And then the square is a little slower than I would like to. You can probably get like 3, 4, 5 more speed on this overall. And then honestly, you could probably just help his speed by giving him an actual like speed arrow, and then just finding a speed arrow that has like fatty offense percent, because this is for 6 speed that you're losing on this arrow. So SOKR speed is important. You want him like above 580 just so he can outspeed everything, but I would
580.
Yeah, is the goal. And then take his damage. You can still get decent damage just by having actual offense percent secondaries here on like the circle and the arrow, and then you can find a new cross or whatever, and then like these are still good, the diamond and the triangle, but I think as you continue to build your mods, you could probably find better ones over time.
Right. Okay.
Little low tenacity on Jabba, which is fine. The health and speed are okay, but I do like some tenacity on him, but not mandatory. You really like non-speed primaries, but this is a really good one on the arrow. I may say consider 29 speed is insane. I may say give that one, probably would be better served on Leia, to be completely honest, but Leia's speed is really slow. Because why is her speed so ridiculously slow?
Mine?
Yeah. Okay. 13 speed on the cross, 533. Yeah, I like to aim for like 560. So it's your arrow. The arrow's really slowing you down on Leia. So if you want to give Jabba's arrow to Leia, that'll give her 7 more percent health, or 7 more speed, and then you need to change the cross. So that could easily be, if you get like a 20 plus there or something, that's a lot of speed that you can give her. And then
I have those mods. I just put them someplace else.
Yeah, and then this one, they're okay. They're not horrible mods, but I would like her to be a little faster.
Okay.
So the goal is to get her 560, because a lot of her counters have speeds around like 550. So like JMLs, JMKs and stuff, and you want her to go first. So that's why 560. So these speed thresholds may seem arbitrary, right? Because you're like, okay, what does it matter? But going first really does help. So if you have like a JML that can go before a Leia or a JMK or a Lord Vader, it makes the fight so much easier. Same thing like SOKR going first, stunning Drogon before Leia can do anything, or Leia going in first before all these other things. Like Jabba's not as important, like the SOKR is going to outspeed him anyways, but I would just put a speed arrow on him and call it a day, and save that health one, this one, for someone else that you can give, because those are like health with health is pretty common. But like all these speed thresholds that I give is because they're common counters. Being able to outspeed your common counters, it makes it a lot smoother.
No, definitely. I mean, I wrote everything you said, so.
Yeah. And then your Ray's good, solid.
Okay.
Your JML is slow. Your protection's good, yeah, but your potency is really good, but a little slow.
Okay.
So yeah, do you see like this like 15 here and this 16? Like I try to aim for like 550 speed with JML, because like the idea, same thing, you can You can probably put a speed primary on the arrow if you can get like one with fatty, and that's what I have. I have like a speed primary arrow, and then I just have like super fatty protection here on the square and the diamond, which you kind of do, but the diamond I think you could get a little better. Like it has potency, some protection, but if you can find one that's like 20-25 speed with like over 10% protection, I would sacrifice that potency for that. And then the same thing, this has like potency with protection primary, but it's really slow with like 16 speed. And it has a bunch of like flat offense, which is kind of like a waste. So you can like increase the speeds there. Like the 24 speed with potency here, you know, it's going to be hard to find replacements for a lot of these, but like he doesn't need tenacity, and you can use this protection arrow somewhere else. But yeah, I just, yeah, I would get this Zeta on him too. Like get the Zetas on your GLs.
All right, I gotta bite the bullet then.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. I get it. Like I just right now I just had to spend 6, 8, 10, 11 Zetas on my Leia team, and I understand. Like I get it. Like I don't want to do it, but I have to. Because you need your GLs to perform that they need to perform the way they need to perform. So you put the investment in your GLs team so that they can perform. So Rey at least 500 plus is the speed, but really what matters is her health and damage. And then she's still a GL, so I try to aim for like 20 plus speed on her secondaries. So like 500 plus. I have mine closer to like 538 or something, 39. I don't know. 34 maybe around there, but like the damage and the health is more important, and then just 500 plus speed is okay.
Okay, all right.
Hey Jedi Gothic, how's it going? So yeah, that's what I would recommend for this stuff. As far as your Zetas, you have stop, so you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know why you got him to Relic 5, but if you don't have the Zeta or the Omicron to give him.
It's for the Rays, yeah.
But if he's a good, like if you have like General Grievous, after you farm JMK, if you have the bandwidth to give him, like you have Asajj's Omicron. This is what I'm saying about your Omicrons, but yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like that one isn't necessary. Like Marin's is good, but I don't think you need Asajj's. It's not bad, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like
potency and tenacity is good.
Right.
Like it's not bad, but it's more of like a luxury. So it's a good one, but she dies anyways, which turns it off, and then she comes back. I don't know. Like it's one of those things, right? Like it's good, but then she dies, and then it's off. So.
I've been able to do the nice user counter for Java yet, unfortunately.
You haven't been able to?
Nah.
Is Plague Bearer might be important for that? I know you're kind of hurting. But I would rather you have put Plague Bearer Zeta on. But you know, I don't know. I think you could do it. I've seen someone do it with like Gear 12, so
yeah, okay.
It's not bad. Your potency is really low. So, because you have 114, 234. Let's see what I have.
Sisters.
So I have like a potency and tenacity set, and I have 161, 214. So your tenacity is good, but I think your potency could be a little better.
Okay.
So I have like a blend, and I've just farmed these out of the mod store, and I found ones that hit like only tenacity and potency. The ones that aren't 6-dot are just, I don't know if they're gonna be her forever ones. They're still good, but you know, like tenacity priors, potency, you know, like potency and tenacity, crit avoidance, tenacity, potency. You can go protection primary here. It doesn't have to be crit avoidance, but I went like protection, tenacity, crit avoidance, and then as much potency and tenacity, a little bit of protection as I can. So
Right.
yeah, like it doesn't. And I went full survival. I've seen people go like health and offense and still get it done. So a lot of it is luck, you know, like making sure she survives. You can also increase the relics on her a little if you want, like R7. Sooner or later you'll want her at R7 anyways, but
Is it difficult finding those mods for just some niche uses, you know? Because like,
so I buy these out of the mod store. I bought every single one here out of the shipments. So I did not farm any of these. It was all mod shipments that I purchased these things out of. So yeah, it's very difficult to find, but if you, as you look at your mod shipments, and it took a few weeks to do, but as you like look in your shipments, sometimes you'll find a mod and you're like, oh, it's like a potency or tenacity mod. Oh, look, it has tenacity, protection, potency. Let me buy that and see what happens to it, and it just like hit well for me. So it just stuff like that, you know, like you just buy them out of shipments, work them for free. If they suck, you sell them, and then you just keep it moving.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm definitely speeding on my GLs after this.
Yeah, but I think JMK is good. Like if you can get JMK, amazing character. But I think you're on the right path for what you're doing. You have the Jedi Bros, right? Master Qui-Gon, Padawan, Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I do.
What relics are they for you?
R9. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, you had very good account. I would say overall, you're on the right path. There's no real wrong where you are in the game. There's no wrong thing to farm. You know what I mean? Unless you're like, I'm a farm Tuskens or something. That's the wrong thing to farm. But as long as you're not like, I'm a farm Tuskens or Jawas or something, you know, like or Afra really. Afra could be the last thing you farm legendary wise, but as long as you're farming Balin's Gold, GL Soka, you know, a GL, you know, like a Bo-Katan Mandalore, all those are good. Or Leviathan. There's nothing really. You have all your assault battles done, I imagine. You have all the GLs that are important. JMK is probably the most important one that you don't have that's currently available. So there's nothing wrong with anything that you farm right now. So
cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. And then yep, good speeds overall. Here, I want to look at your non-GL speeds real quick. 353 for Quadme. That's like crazy fast. 350. So you have like decent mods. I would find us. I would 6-dot this one. Believe it or not, even like it's 19 speed, even a defense primary, you can easily take this to like 26 speed or something. So I would just like 6-dot this one. You know what I mean? Okay. Like work it like you work any other mods. But even though it's a defense primaries and I sell defense primaries, like it's just a speed mod. He should have all 6-dot mods for the executor speed. So right. I would get him. I would 6-dot that mod. Even though it's like okay, but 340, you have good mods overall. 296, not incredible depth, but
I mean, I have a bunch of mods that are further down for the. It's just I'm trying to get most teams to a decent point where they can hang, you know, in GAC.
Yeah.
My mod score is doing okay, you know, not that.
Yeah, but 16,300 plus. Let's look at your mod score. But you have like solid mods overall. Like I would put an offense primary on this one. Crit damage is good. Like not everything that probably should have excellent mods has them, but that'll come with time. I think your count is accelerated, so you don't have like the full depth but you have good mods, so you know. Overall.
It's an ongoing effort, man.
Yeah, I get it. I'm believe it or not, I'm on that struggle bus just as well. So let's look at this. But I'm sure your mod score is good. You know. So let's look and see what you got. Okay. Yeah, it's a solid mod score. So, very good. So an 8.09 with a 13.76. So yeah, that's a very, very solid mods. You just have a blend of these. Most of these are good. You have some of these 14 ones. It's, I guess like before you knew what you were doing over here, forcing ones. But it seems like you learned mods pretty early and you're working them well. So yeah, you have a good amount of like 20 plus speed mods. So solid mods overall.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah, good account. This is a support one. Yeah. Number 4. I use JMK with Plocron. I believe it or not, this support cron is enough that I still lose with JMK with Plocron.
Against like, Java?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's a solid. It's not. I use to counter this Java. I use SOKR with attacker cron, and that's how I counter these. But even Plocron with JMK is like I can't get to where I can like loop around with my ult to kill Bush fast enough. Like Bush will just like tear apart my team. And then if I can, they still like Jabba ults too fast, you know what I mean? And they kill my usually Ahsoka too fast. And then I if it was GAC and I had to, I could probably like 2-shot it, but like in one shot, it's just not a super reliable counter. So this is a like, do you counter JMKs with Plocron with it? I imagine.
Java just sits on my defense GAC for
really
a long time. It's just I try to play for a 2-zone. I'm on Kyber
2 zone clear, really?
It's all I can do, man. It's like I'm fighting 12 million GP players.
Well, I'm like very similar to where you are. I have 6 GLs now, and Leviathan, so I have like I have advantage over you, right? Because I have good fleets, but fleets in Kyber 2, 3 doesn't really matter anymore. Like they're gonna clear, I'm gonna clear. So but I'm able to put down an okay defense and still full clear them usually. So
for me it's just Lockfest. If I make sure they don't clear my bottom zone, I win most of the time. Yeah, that's my strategy.
Yeah, you got to do what works for you, but I don't know. I believe a good defense is a strong offense. I just look for opportunities for them to drop a battle, and it's a difficult way to play because I try to do a full clear without dropping a battle, believe it or not, against like accounts with everything and even like amazing datacrons. And most of the time I do it. So, and then all I need them is for them to drop like one battle and then I win. So,
nice.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's a hard way to play, but if you can get like the best way to do it right now is just like datacrons, like get data, and that's how most people do it. Like they take most of their GLs on offense, or they put down a few GLs, and then they have like datacrons that are busted datacrons that elevate teams to almost GL levels, and then you're facing like ridiculous teams overall that don't have GLs, so they have all their GLs or most of their GLs on offense, and they may have like the 2 or 3 best defensive GLs on defense, like Jabba, Leia, Ray, JMK or something. They take everything else, and then the rest are just like highly elevated datacron teams. So.
I like it. Yeah, I'm a very big fan of datacrons for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. I would say this purple one is wearing me down. It's wearing me because it's like really whale friendly, because if they rerolled a bunch of stuff, they have a bunch of like levels. Every team has like the tank good cron, the support cron, the attacker cron. It really does, like, that's the ones I'm losing, is the opponents that I played that just like wailed out on this unexpected resurgence one, and then I just like drop a battle because I didn't bring enough to like clear 6 support crons, you know, and then I have to like multi-shot it, and then I lose. So
yeah, it's a complete blockbuster. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for joining. I hope that answers your question of what you're looking for. You go with
Huh?
You go with like a defensive build before your Jedi Knight Cal Kestis?
I don't remember what I've got, man.
You got like health primaries on here. Usually people put like crit damage and offense here, because after you insta kill Malgus, you still gotta like kill the sides or whatever you're doing. Like he does a lot of damage, so a lot of people do.
Really?
Yeah, that's like the normal way to mod him. Like I'm sure survivability isn't bad. I would 6-dot this mod. You have like a raw 25 speed.
I like to do those for conquest cheese, sometimes like you need like a
really no I think you should do it and get him a good, find one that has like fatty offense here on a 6-dot and then 6-dot that arrow. No, I don't think so. Usually you want like defensive sets, right, for Zepho, but I don't know.
I mean, most of the modding I do is just stays like that forever.
Oh, so you don't remod for Zepho? This is just how you have it modded?
Yeah, and I use it for GAC as well for Malgus counter, and it works okay. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work, but
yeah. Well, do you have the? Okay. Do you have the? Let's see. Okay, your Jedi. You need the Zeta on Basilisk Sean. That'll probably make your counter a little better, because Malgus could like just one-shot your dudes, right? Like he can just one-shot your Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis.
This happened to me this last GAC. Yeah. I use Jedi Luke lead for the Malgus count.
Yeah, I was talking to Stero about this. I don't know if you know him. He's like a content creator. Probably not, but he's a content creator that's in our Discord. I like his stuff, so shout out to Stero, Stero. A decent dude. So he uses Jedi Knight Cal Kestis lead. And I asked him, I was like, why are you using Jedi Knight Cal Kestis lead? And he said it's for this extra defense that makes his team not get one shot. So, yeah, so you can, since you don't have Basilisk Sean lead Zeta, which I would get. I understand you're Zeta homeless right now, but I would say like getting that so that you can make it a little more reliable, so your guys don't get one shot would probably be helpful. Whenever you can. Honestly, if you wanted to do that first, I wouldn't hate it, just to make it a more reliable counter. But if in the meantime, if you wanted to, you could just like use Jedi Knight Cal Kestis lead, and that may help you with that counter.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna write that down as well.
Yeah. All right, but thanks for awesome. Supporting me. Order 66 Hellions. I've seen that before. But yeah, thanks for joining me on chat, having a little chat over here. I appreciate it. It's a very more in depth than I thought it would be. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. No problem. Are you like new to my? Have you seen my live reviews before?
I think the second time. Usually at this time I'm usually asleep.
So, that's
fair. Today I wasn't asleep, so I just decided to see if I could get a.
Okay. Yeah, well, sorry, it's not really quick. I do go very in depth into. I just think.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of different aspects of this game, right? And I've seen roster reviews where it's like, I don't know what that person left with, but I left with nothing, and I'm sure they left with nothing too, And I don't want that. So, and I do think there's a balance between like time and. Being able to review more accounts, but I feel like at least once people get their review, then they're going to have all their questions answered on like what to do, where to go, how to fix their mods, if they should leave their guild, should stay their guild, should they change their focus on what they're doing. Like there's a lot that I can really like address and then help them build their account overall, so there's actual like value, instead of me because I could have just like looked at your account and been like, hey, farm, Jedi Master Kenobi and then farm this and farm that, and you're like, okay, thanks, and then you leave with like a farming pathway, but is that really like gonna benefit you or change your account in any meaningful way? I don't know.
I think it sets you apart, because a lot of this, many content creators just do like 5-minute, maybe 10-minute roster reviews. So I think that the in-depth approach really works nicely. So thank you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't like that personally, just because it's like, if I give you a 5-minute review, you know, like there's other questions that you may have, or other things that, like your mods, we definitely wouldn't be able to like talk about those, or you know, or like maybe I would have been able to focus on like your fleets and given you one farming pathway or something. But I think to truly look at an account, it takes a little bit of time for me to like, you know, really dive in there and see like what's going on with your account and how we can fix it, or what's your philosophy on farming. So, and I usually do try to explain my thought processes as I'm doing it as well. So I'm not just like do X, Y, and Z because I told you. Usually I'm going to give you why I'm telling you that as well. So that can help other players. Even like it may seem like roasting or critiques, but I'll address problems in your accounts that I see, or things that I wouldn't have done, even though it's not going to help you per se, but it may help someone who may make that decision in the future, you know?
Absolutely.
All right, but yeah, thanks for joining me. Sorry to keep you up probably later than you wanted to. But if you have any follow-on questions in my Discord, there's like a Ask the Captain channel there too. If you needed some clarification on anything.
I think the community appreciates your efforts, man. So yeah, thank you. Keep up the good work.
No problem. I also forgot to write down the timestamp, so I will timestamp it for your future if you wanted to like look at this later. But it's going to there'll be a timestamp there. It'll just take me a second to like figure out where it is. All right, but thanks. Have a good night.
You too, man. Bye.
Bye. All right. So how do I know if someone needs to leave their guild? Oh, no, RoboMelon. No, I don't. So some guilds are just underperforming for what they can bring to the table. So generally I look a lot at the guild recruitments too, at all levels, just so I can give a good insights on like what people are looking for. And if I see someone who has a lot of things that are like really good things in their account that guilds are looking for, then you know, it's maybe a good time for them to leave. But like guilds are difficult because like there's friends attached. Do I do guild reviews? I've done guild roasts before, but that usually like pisses off 50 people. So I try not to, but I have roasted guilds. I have looked at guilds before and been like, should you be in this guild? And then I'll go and dive into the guild just to see what they're doing, and I'll be like, you know, maybe you shouldn't, maybe you should. But like, yeah, like I don't have a service where I'm like, I'm gonna review your guild, but I do look at guilds and kind of critique them sometimes based upon if I think especially like if I look at a character or a player, right, and I look and I'm like, okay, you're 9.9 million, and then you have 12,000 galactic war battles. Okay, I don't see a problem between how much GP and time played they have. But if they're like 4 million GP and they're at 12.7 galactic war battles, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's dive into this account and see why their growth is stunted. Because it may be like they're not playing regularly, they're not doing some guild, they're not doing some events, they're not, you know, they're not like even doing their dailies, or it could be anything. But also a big factor is like maybe they're in a bad guild, and that's a factor in a review as well. So I can be like, okay, you probably should join a new guild if you want to perform better. And that's just something that I have to do every so often. I don't specifically do roster reviews to be like, you need to leave your guild. Like, absolutely not. I think being in a guild is just like it's almost like spending money. So in real life, people need to create budgets. And then when they're creating budgets, it's hard for people to stay within their budget because spending money also can be like a stress reliever. It could have like, it has so many aspects of our lives of spending money, and it's easy to say save more money, don't spend as much. But maybe you're in a really stressful job. Maybe that, you know, whatever you're spending on is what gives you stress relief. Maybe you're doing it to support you know, your extended family or something. So there's no set answer, and a lot of times there's like emotions tied to that money spending. And it's the same thing with guilds. So while guilds give us all the currency that we need to grow our accounts, sometimes there's emotions tied into that guild as well that people just don't want to leave. And so it's difficult for me to tell them like, hey, it's just my advice that your guild is what's holding back the potential of your account. So if you want to maximize the potential of your account, you probably should leave your guild. And it's just, I usually don't tell like, you need to leave it right now. But I will usually say like, hey, it's my advice, just like the entirety of my roster review. It's just advice. So you can do whatever you want. But I think overall, you should, a lot of players or some players, if they can improve on a better guild, I'll give them that advice. So yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it for today for my reviews. I worked my mods, did 2 free reviews. I don't have any more premium ones, so we're at a good stopping point. Let me see. It's a weird time, so I don't know if there's going to be any other ones. How did I find my guild? So I got specifically invited to my guild by a member, but fun fact, I had requested to join their guild like a year ago and they denied me, and I was invited and then I denied them. So I was like, no, I'm not going to join you guys. And then it was like a few weeks later, I was like, yeah, actually, I think it's a good idea to move over to that guild. So I ended up moving over. So like, we denied each other, you know, the time wasn't right. Like when they wanted me, I wasn't ready, and when I wanted them, they weren't ready. So it all together, it came together. How's my troopers going? I'm just farming the stars on them. Slowly but surely, I'm at 5 stars each. So even though I'm farming Leia tickets right now for her ultimate, I'm slow rolling my tickets for them. So yeah. Captain Eggnog? What's Captain Eggnog? Oh, is he farmable? It's like a, what do you call it? Where is it? Imperial Remnant. It's a Cantina farm, isn't it? No, he's not even farmable yet. What are you talking about? What you talking about, Ray Rock? He's where I left him. At 4 stars, almost 5 stars actually. Huh. Interesting. So I think I did like the 2 packs for him and got access to him, but until he's farmable, he's just at 4 stars. So once he becomes farmable, I'll farm him, and because I don't have any other farms to do, you know. Like this is it pretty much. Like these 3. I have one other, the Tuscans. The Tuscan Chieftain I have to farm, but I'm not in too much of a rush. I'll farm him as soon as I'm done farming tickets. I do not farm any of these. I don't farm any shards with crystals. No shards. So I still have a backlog of GLs I need to do. So I have 2 GLs, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, Bo-Katan Mandalore. I need the light side Ufus, Bad Batch, Gungans, Vader, Imperial Remnant, Gas, Mandos. So I still have some backlogs of things to do. So I'm not going to spend crystals to get shards to farm characters that I'm not ready to farm yet. I can build that backlog while slowly farming the shards of new characters, and then once I'm shard farmed for them, then I'll farm whatever it is, like Captain or GL Ahsoka, Balin Skull. So I don't feel the need to accelerate them with crystals, because crystals can get me other resources that I need to break bottlenecks to get things that are accessible right now. And then I'll start farming the new characters, and then I'll get them with the marquee system and everything, probably like 4 or 5 months after they become farmable. So yeah, I'm fine with that cadence currently. So I'm not at the point where I need to accelerate shards. So maybe at the point where I'm like, I don't know, 12 million GP, 11 point something, and I have my backlog of stuff, then I can do that. Yeah, I'm waiting for that Dengar ship, and that's why I'm slow rolling Leia's ult. So I've only done it like once because I've been ticket farming. I've only been doing 50 refreshes, and I've been pretty much farming 3 dark side characters. So I'm slow rolling this. So I'm slowly getting her ultimate, just so I can see if it ends up being a dark side farm for tickets, or if it ends up being something else, then I'll probably buy those $5 packs to just like get her ult really quickly. Where's it at? I don't have access to it because I have over 40. But there's the ticket, the free, the 500 or $5 for 100 of these what do you call it, tokens or currency, and then 100 currency or 300 or whatever. So I'll probably do that to maximize my ability to benefit from like those, using those extra energy towards whatever the dark side farms to get some more shards, and then I could just use the light side currency on getting her ult. So if that's what happens, then I'll do that. I need a bronzium pack opener. Yeah, maybe. I just like click it every so often. Like usually when I'm watching TV, I'll just do this. It's not a big deal. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Always a pleasure. I will get you guys rated somewhere, maybe, if there's anyone to raid you with. Yeah, but good stream. Lots of fun. Nomers. So yeah, let's start this raid over to Nomers. But yeah, everyone have a wonderful stream. I probably should have done my free-to-play stuff, but maybe I'll start doing that later. I don't think it's like too much of a, I don't think it's like too important that I end up doing my free-to-play stuff on stream, but I made a video, so I'll release it tomorrow on my free-to-play progress, and then maybe after that I'll start doing some more free-to-play alt stuff on stream so that you guys can see that if you're interested. Otherwise, yeah, take care everyone. I'll see you next time.